Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have just lost big time as it's now being reported that the peace talks with King Charles, they ain't happening. They are cancelled. Yes, what the deuce is going on here? Well, make sure you subscribe to this channel and stay tuned for more details in this Daily Nerd starting right now. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef, the Alternate, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to another dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much got me eye, and oh my goodness, yeah, let's jump into this one, shall we, with a little bit of a dose of I kind of told you so. I'll get to that a little bit later on in the video, so stay tuned for that little tidbit. In the meantime, yep, it has been reported, peace talks are now not happening. It ain't happening. They are cancelled. Royal peace talks with Prince Harry are now not on the agenda, the Daily Beast can reveal. Royal insiders and friends of King Charles and Prince William have actually scoffed at reports that the King will sit down for talks with Prince Harry on the 17th of September. Buckingham Palace insiders dismissed the reports, and a friend of the King said that while they believed the King would always want to keep the door open to reconciling with our Harry, they did not think a physical meeting would take place just 3 days before the King is due to make an important state visit to France, because it was rumoured, it was reported that these peace talks were going to take place in that kind of transitional period as to when the Invictus Games end in Germany, Dusseldorf, to when King Charles makes his way to France. There was that little bit in between where they were both free, and that was where it was reported that these peace talks were going to take place. But yeah, not anymore. Prince Harry and Megxie have lost big time on this one. A friend of Prince William said that even if King Charles was of a mind to meet up with Harry, who, according to a report in Britain's OK's magazine, was planning to stop over in the UK after attending the Invictus Games, there you go, there was no chance, zero, zilch, ain't happening, that Prince William would also agree with a meeting with Harry. Details of their last three-way secret meeting called by Harry after Prince Philip's funeral ended up as the opening scene of Harry's memoir Spare. Because this is the thing, right? The royal family have to be extremely careful, because if they do have any peace talks with Harry, or any communication with Harry whatsoever, they really can't trust him as far as they could throw him, because he's divulged so much private information into just his memoir alone, right? Into his book alone. You couldn't really trust him. It would have to be, as far as I'm concerned, opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, right? He comes into a room, and before anything is said, he signs a freaking NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, as in whatever is said in this room, you ain't freaking repeating out of this room. I think that would be the only way you could somehow trust Harry, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to royal family. Because in the book, Harry wrote, quote, "I'd flown home specifically and solely for my grandpa's funeral. While there, I'd asked for this secret meeting with my older brother, Willie, and my father to talk about the state of things." And in the opening section, Harry said that Prince William and King Charles had come to the meeting in a royal graveyard in Windsor, quote, "ready for a fight," called Prince William his arch nemesis, and added that, quote, "Willie in particular didn't want to hear anything, and that King Charles begged his sons, 'Please, boys, don't make my final years a misery.'" Well, yeah, I don't think King Charles is unfortunately going to be getting his wish, because Prince Harry is not going to be backing down anytime soon. And as far as I'm concerned, he is not going to take any culpability, any blame whatsoever for his own actions, because again, as far as I'm concerned, he blames everyone else but himself, which is ridiculous, okay? But, you know, the friend of Prince William did tell the Daily Beast, quote, "King Charles won't be seeing Harry, and nor will Prince William. No chance. He feels utterly betrayed by what Harry wrote about him in the book and said about him on Netflix." I'm not surprised. Asked if Prince William hated his brother, as a source previously told the Daily Beast, the friend said, quote, "He feels betrayed. They were very close growing up, so it has been very painful for Prince William." which, yeah, they were very close growing up. It was like, they looked after each other, right? Especially after the death of Princess Diana, right? So, yeah, I can imagine it's been painful for Prince William. But ultimately, the source says, what can he do? Just look at Spare. It's literally Prince William's worst nightmare. It's a total violation of his privacy. On top of that, Hazza has criticised Princess Catherine and the way he's bringing up his children. It's very, very sad. I think it's completely understandable that right now, Prince William is still absolutely disgusted by what his brother has done. And until his brother, as far as I'm concerned, until Hazza turns round and takes responsibility for what he's done, I don't think this is going to be moving anytime soon, right? I really, really don't. Now, why am I saying I kind of told you so? Well, go on to my video that I did a day or so ago. Desperate, Prince Harry is in peace talks with King Charles. Have a watch of that, because in there I explain that even if these peace talks actually go ahead, they ain't going to be successful. No way, no how. Because, again, as I said, Prince Harry, as far as I'm concerned, will not take responsibility for what he has done to make this situation absolutely in the shiz bucket, right? But then there's other things as well in terms of the past that he just will not reconcile with, as far as I'm concerned. So the first thing is, the unalivement of Princess Diana. And he explains in his book that when he was told about Princess Diana and her unalivement, it was by his father, King Charles, and he goes into a bedroom, sits down, puts hand on lap, tells him news, and Prince Harry is like, but there's no affection, no nothing. I'm then left in my room for hours until we all properly wake up. He'll never get over it. It's difficult for him to get over, right? I can appreciate that. But then I don't think he could ever reconcile with his father because of it, because there's this deep-seated anger that he's got in him, as far as I'm concerned. The other thing that I don't think he could ever get past for these peace talks ever to be successful, let alone take place, is the PR, Queen Camilla, and the media. Well, we all know his disgust and his distaste towards the PR and the media. He's fighting the media at the moment in 5 or 6 lawsuits. But also Queen Camilla, calling her, the evil, wicked stepmother, saying that she had sacrificed him at the altar of PR so that she could further and better herself within the royal family to become queen one day, this, that, and the other. Him saying that publicly, King Charles will have got to have heard of all of that. And he loves Queen Camilla deeply. Unless Prince Hazza is going to be turning around and apologising for at least saying it publicly. Again, they ain't going to get past that either. The other two things that they're not going to get past, as far as I'm concerned. Firstly, they explain, Megxie and Hazza, that they requested help early on in their relationship and their time in the royal family, right? And that the royal family ignored it. When Hazza went up to King Charles, Prince Charles at the time, and was like, look, can we do something about the media? He explains that King Charles turned around and says, well, just don't read it. Well, yeah, just don't read it then. The media's going to be chatting about you. You're part of the royal family, right? It's part and parcel of, the life that you've got at the end of the day, as any other, celebrity has, and everything else in between, right? But yeah, because he feels that he and Megxie didn't get the good enough help that they thought they should have done, again, it's all blaming other people for their situation, and he won't get past that, as far as I'm concerned. And then, the final thing here is Hazza and Megxie's Megxit situation, right? Blaming his father for actually leaking specific information to the press. He explains that, look, you know, they'd offered to relinquish to leave behind the Sussex titles and did that in a private letter with King Charles, but somehow that got into the media, and he's like, well, who else could it have been but my father that leaked this information to the media? But this is the thing, right? Again, he won't get past that as far as I'm concerned because he's absolute blind hatred towards the media. But B, think about it. A couple of months back, he was on the stand testifying against the Mirror Group newspaper. Mirror Group newspaper lawyer comes up and was like, right, okay, here's this article. Prince Harry is like, there could have been no other way you guys could have got this unless you hacked my phone or illegally obtained the information somehow. Mirror Group newspaper lawyer turns round and is like, it was reported 2 days ago by another newspaper. That's where we got it from. Or you did an interview a couple of days ago about it and then we reported on it afterwards, you know? He has been debunked so many times, right? As to, well, where else could this information have come from unless it was illegally, you know, obtained? That him turning around and saying here, well, where else could they have got this information from other than this private communication that I got with my father that I was ready to give up the Sussex titles? Yeah, I ain't going to be believing that anytime soon. Let's put it that way, because as far as I'm concerned, Prince Hazard is not reliable with that kind of rationale as far as I'm concerned. But again, he won't get past that either, as far as I'm concerned. So going back to the video that I did a day or so ago, desperate Prince Hazard is in peace talks with King Charles. Yeah, kind of told you so, because even if these peace talks actually were going to take place, I don't think they would have been successful at all. And so now with reports coming through that, nah, the peace talks are not happening at all, well, that's probably a good thing, because as far as I'm concerned, I think it would just be a wasted time on King Charles. With that being said, if you appreciated this video and you want more, believe me, of course there's gonna be more, then make sure you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe. I'll be honest with you, help us get to 100k so we can get that silver play button right there. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's. Also as well, if you've got some very strong opinions about this topic, and I bet you do, then make sure you send me a super thanks. It's just below this video right here. We can have a conversation about this because it does guarantee a response from me. And until the next time, you guys, laters.